So hi everyone, I'm Sally Hed Dahlquist. I am a chronic globetrotting marathoner, and this little tip is to help you manage your sugar energy levels during a race. Life is sweet. It all comes down to glucose. Try everything. All that sugar, all those carbs, turn into glucose, and your muscles and your brain need it to keep you moving. I have run 174 marathons. It makes me tired just thinking about it. And I've tried many different combinations of food and sugar and goos and gels and fruit on race day. You just have to experiment with what and when and how much you eat during the race. In my last tip, I talked about carbo loading, since preparing for your food energy on race day actually starts the day before. So listen to that little tip if you haven't already, to help you understand how to recharge your sugar batteries that are stored in your muscles and liver. But right now, I'll talk about your sugar energy on race day. Oh, and spoiler alert, this is not a top 10 list, because my top 10 doesn't matter, because your body may not agree, may not be top 10 for you. But I will actually give you some tips that work for me, because I actually use this stuff and have run a lot. And no, I don't have any endorsements to tell you this stuff. This is stuff I actually do and use. Just to give you a quick recap, when I carbo load the day before a race, I eat enough to feel full, but not enough to feel stuffed. And I think 3 to 4 smaller meals is better than 1 to 2 big meals. And I try to stop eating by 8 p.m. so the food has time to go through my system, my GI tract. So that way when I wake up race morning, my stomach has some room for the new food to provide energy, sugar, and electrolytes and water on race day. On race day, I start eating as soon as I get up, which is usually about 2 hours before the race. Some people set an alarm so they can eat 3 to 4 hours before their start, but I'm not really serious enough to do that. I would rather sleep, and I'm only competitive with myself. So whenever I get up, that's when I start eating. As I'm getting ready for the race, I'll have a banana, a Propel electrolyte drink. Their lemon is my favorite. It's just a little pouch of powder. It doesn't have any sugars in it. So then I'll have a pack of real maple syrup to go with that, and 25 mg of caffeine, which can be just half a package of Crystal Light, which is also another just powder packet. Really simple, easy. And I'll have some carbohydrates like bread, half a bagel, half a peanut butter sandwich, a cinnamon roll. Some other carbs I like are Hed energy bars. Cranberry is my favorite. And maybe I'll eat a small amount of protein, like a hard-boiled egg or a protein smoothie. I really like the Adwala juice. So that sounds like a lot, but don't stuff yourself. Take some time to eat it. Make sure your tummy has room for more electrolytes, water, and sugar. And I may eat the banana first to make sure I get that before I start, and then just slowly eat some of the other stuff. And sometimes after I've started the race, then I'll have the granola bar. So it is really important not to eat too much all at once. So eat enough so that your body can absorb that energy and keep all the food moving through your system. If you start to bonk during a race and your stomach is too full, eating more won't help fast enough because you can't absorb it. It's a little counterintuitive, but you may need to throw up to feel better to make room for more effective sugar and electrolytes to get through. Your tummy needs this space and time to move the old food along in order to digest new foods. This is the space-time continuum of running. Be sure to drink at every water stop, mostly the electrolytes, which also contain sugar. If it's hot, I'll pour the water over my head and on my arms to cool down. So be sure to drink the drink and wear the water if you need to. The key for lasting energy during the race is to eat before you start feeling tired, before you bonk, before you start dragging your feet, especially before you get dizzy. I try to eat every hour, whether I feel hungry or not, because I know I need that sugar even if I don't feel like it. And it takes me about an hour to go 5 miles. And it's really easy to remember to eat at miles 5, 10, 15, and 20. So my snack packs contain at least 100 calories and 25 mg of caffeine. For example, my favorite is this maple syrup. I eat a pack of maple syrup and 2 Blackberry Cliff shot blocks, which contains 33 milligrams of caffeine. So you get those in a 6-pack, and it's 100 mgs of caffeine for the entire package, and I generally eat 2 at a time because I don't like to overdose on caffeine. It makes me a little jittery, so I'm pretty cautious with that. Faster runners will eat more calories more often than I do. This is what works for me, and I like to prepare my food in advance. So I'll make 4 bags of food so I can just pull them out of my pocket at the 5-mile mark without really having to think about it or question how I feel. If it's easy to do, I'll open up all the packages, all the little shot blocks and gummies, and put them in a Ziploc bag all together. Like half a package of Bolt Energy Chews, which are organic, if that means anything to you, if that matters. Doesn't really matter to me. I just think they taste good. And they're a little different. I like to try different things. So I'll put a half a package of the Bolt Energy Chews with half a package of the Jelly Belly beans with 25 mg of caffeine. I might also toss in a multivitamin and a leave or some salt tablets, but I think I'll need that. If I didn't eat any bread before the race, I'll carry that granola bar, like the Hed Cranberry or the Cliff Chocolate Mint with caffeine, and I'll eat about a third to a half of it at a time. Otherwise, it just gets to be too much. And I always carry a separate little package, a little Ziploc bag of small pickles. Sometimes I put them in a little plastic jar, and I eat those anytime I feel the slightest twinge of a cramp. Otherwise, I'll just start eating them sometime between miles 12 and 22, because by that time, I've eaten so much sugar that the extra acidity and vinegar taste from the pickles cuts that sugary bloated feeling, and it's really refreshing with the extra salts. I also like the Margarita Cliff shot blocks. It's an excellent taste and good cramp busters. They have so much extra salt that they can't sell the US version in the UK. You have to bring it with you if you're going to London. I couldn't find it there. That's what they told me. Their food department doesn't like it. And if there's an orange on the course, I will grab that too, because I like the acidity from the oranges. It's good on a long race. Of course, if there's a Mountain Dew or soda pop anywhere, I will chug that down in a heartbeat. So refreshing. I like the bubbles. Sugar and caffeine. Yum, yum. My husband might bring one to me, or I've been known to duck into a gas station, like mile 17 of Eau Claire, or buy a pop from a vending machine. Thank you, golf course on the Bearskin Trail in Minocqua. Bonus. Thank goodness my Garmin watch, I connected it to my wallet with a credit card. So now when I go buy vending machines, I can buy things really easy with that watch. And by mile 22, I've usually had enough sugar and caffeine and salts. So I'll start drinking more water then. And my fingers sometimes will start swelling up a little bit from all the salts retaining water. So I wear a rubber wedding ring. And a lot of people eat by how they feel, how their body feels. Are they getting tired or not? And I definitely pay attention to that also. But I find it's easier to just look at the clock or the mileage. Because by the time you notice that you are feeling a little tired or dragging, your blood sugar is already dropping and you're running on a deficit. And that means it will take longer and makes it harder to keep up the pace and replenish your energy. So you need 10 to 20 minutes for whatever you eat to get into your muscles and into your brain. Remember, your brain uses a lot of blood glucose, like 25%. So you might start to feel dizzy if you deplete all your energy, all your blood glucose. So if you start to feel bad, give yourself some time to recharge. Just have some sugar or electrolytes or water and walk 10 to 15 minutes, and you should start to feel better. However, if you don't, then stop at an aid station, sit down a little bit, just chat with them in case you need something else. You know, you might just be too hot or tired, or you could be sick. Maybe you got a cold or something. Oh, and if you run at higher elevations, like over 5,000 feet for sure, you will have to drink more water because the dry air sucks the moisture right out of you. One way I kind of monitor my water intake to see if I'm hydrated enough is also if I go to the bathroom. I usually stop at a porta potty 1 to 3 times during a race, and I know I'm drinking more than enough if I gotta go. But at some races, I haven't needed to use the bathroom at all, which could indicate a problem. But at other times, it's just fine. I knew I was okay because I was sweating enough, I felt good, I was drinking often, and I wasn't feeling hot, so I knew that was okay. So I've tried many different combinations of race day nutrition, sugar, and water. This is what works for me. So your best combination will be different. Food is a critical part of your training, And it can be hard to pinpoint what combination works the best. You just have to keep trying things. In addition to the real food, there are plenty of packaged energy gels, goos, and gummy blocks out there with different types of sugar molecules like sucrose, fructose, glucose, dextrose, maltodextrin. Lactose is the sugar in milk, blah, blah, blah. And these come from many sources like maple syrup, honey, corn syrup, agave, tapioca, beet sugar, cane sugar, chia seeds, rice syrup, fruit puree, and the list goes on, blah, blah. If you look at the ingredient list, all these products claim that some sugars are better than others, and you can really get lost in all these chemical details. And I'm a biochemist, but really it all comes down to glucose. All those carbs, all those sugars get converted to glucose, and your muscles and brain need it. And remember, you're always going to be eating that sugar or food in combination with other foods in your stomach. So some of the benefits they promote, like, oh, this provides the optimal ratio of glucose to fructose and sucrose and blah, blah. And the glycemic index will help mitigate blood sugar spikes. Or this helps your liver processing of glycogen. This one has thickeners like seaweed algae, so it releases water, or chia seeds to add texture or calm your stomach, or for a slower release of sugars and to help prevent tummy upset. All of these things may not be as noticeable because you're eating other things and you're running and you're moving along and then you're having water and Gatorade. So those little details on the package are not as important as simply trying it and remembering what ingredients it had in it. Write it down, try it, see how you feel. This is where experience is important. Trying different foods during your training runs so you know what makes you feel the best. Stop obsessing about every technical aspect that may not make a difference for you. Pay attention to what you ate, make a food journal along with your running schedule, and figure it out for yourself. Life is sweet. Try everything. And the bonus as a runner is it's a great opportunity for your inner child to eat all this candy and sweet stuff that you would not normally eat as an adult. Well, I'd like to dedicate this little tip to my friend Christine Anderson, because her family started Anderson's Maple Syrup in Wisconsin. They started packaging their maple syrup into little pouches for running called Pure Fuel, and it's the best. I wouldn't have tried it if it weren't for her, and it's a game changer. They don't add anything to it. It's just pure maple syrup, delicious and easy to eat during a race. And they sponsor several races and donate thousands of pouches for races like Grandma's Marathon. And I'm so glad that Christine joined my running club in Minneapolis and suggested we all try this maple syrup. And now I use it in every race. I'm hooked. And I also like honey, but it's a little thicker than maple syrup. So I really prefer the maple syrup. I find that my body really likes these two sources of energy, the honey and maple syrup. I think because biologically our body knows what to do with it. It's 100% natural, and it's what our bodies were made for. It has trace minerals, some good stuff for you, and there isn't anything added or weird in it. I don't need electrolytes added to it. I don't need any other flavors. It's good enough just the way it is. I just want the pure form of maple syrup or honey, and it tastes really good. And the maple syrup is surprisingly thin. I find it easiest to eat. If you're used to Aunt Jemima, which is just high fructose corn syrup, that's pretty thick. Natural maple syrup is like drinking water. It goes down really easy. And I do like some of the gel packs, the commercial other brands, the goo packs, which has more electrolytes, but they're just also very thick and they just stick to your tongue and sometimes they're hard to swallow. I really prefer the consistency and the natural source for the sugar energy of maple syrup. And Anderson's is made in Wisconsin, just right across the river from my house. I don't do anything weird to it. And I control my electrolytes and caffeine and salt in better ways, so I don't feel like they have to add it or anything. And the pouch is really easy to carry. If you haven't tried it yet, or if you're used to eating fake syrup, I highly recommend natural maple syrup. You just won't go back. And when buying your honey or maple syrup, you really have to buy the good stuff. Splurge a little bit because it's worth the extra $1. It doesn't have to be organic, but don't buy the really cheap stuff, especially the honey that's made in foreign countries overseas, because they'll add stuff to it, like fructose and some other sugars. And my friends that work in the food industry tell me how they find contaminants in it all the time. It just isn't as good. It doesn't have the quality control as American and Canadian made honey and maple syrups. It just doesn't pass the food test for me. But I don't feel the need to buy organic. But I definitely want to get locally produced maple syrup and honey. The honey from the Subi Cooperative is the best. And did you know that maple syrup is one of the few products that's actually truly from only North America? Some of the others are cranberries and wild rice. But they don't even have maple trees in China, Europe, or other parts of the world. The maple trees that we have here and in Canada, New England, Vermont, Minnesota, Wisconsin are all from here. Maple syrup was discovered by Native Americans 9,000 years ago. Maple sap runs in the springtime, and the Native Americans noticed that as the ice was thawing on the trees, some of the branches would break and the icicles would start dripping sugar water, sap from the maple trees. And they would go around and suck on the icicles because they were so sweet and yummy. Now, modern archaeologists have found old burial ground, and all the native skeletons had rotten teeth from sucking all the maple sap. And eventually, the tribe started processing it and making dried sugar. And then, of course, the Europeans came along in the 1600s and introduced it to the rest of the world. And that's how we got maple syrup. It's only from North America, and it's delicious. So thank you, Native Americans, for sharing your technology with the world. Today, you have to collect 40 gallons of sap to boil it down to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. This takes 2 to 4 trees. You put several taps in each tree, and next year you make some different holes in the tree so you can tell how often you've used the tree. But if the storm blows down your trees, it's going to take you 40 years to rebuild your farm. Oh, and the reason that Vermont has better maple syrup than the rest of the country is simply because they have different laws, and they are very strict about it. Their law requires that they have a higher percentage of sugar in their maple syrup compared to other states. It has to be between 67 and 69% versus 66% in other states. That's a pretty small difference, but you can tell. It really is sweeter. And Canada is also really controlling of their maple syrup industry. Kind of like OPEC, the oil producers, they have gallons of maple syrup in reserve to moderate supply and demand. For such a wholesome business, it's quite competitive. Oh, and another legal thing is that the maple syrup industry changed the classifications. Maple syrup used to be grade A, grade B, or grade C, and that was based on colors, light to dark. But instead, most people assumed that grade C was a lower quality, when actually it's just darker. So now the industry has changed it, so all maple syrup is grade A. It's either grade A golden, grade A amber, or grade A dark. And that's another reason why some maple syrup is in glass bottles so you can see the color, and other brands are not in glass bottles because you can't see the color. And I'm thankful that my running club has introduced me to so many amazing people like Christine, who is truly a grade A person. She's just a fun, top-notch person you want to be around. We've run many races together and with my running club, like leading ladies in Spearfish, and Atlanta had the Olympic trials. We went there. And when I ran my 50th state, West Virginia, Moonlight on the Falls, Christine came along to run it too and cheer me on. She even brought a sign for me and extra camping gear for our friend Levi Shank to use. And of course, she brought the maple syrup pure fuel, so we had it during our marathon workout and on our waffles the next morning. Yum, yum. Well, I hope everyone has sweet friends like Christine. Now I got a question for you. What's your favorite source of sugar energy during a race? And what extreme things have you done to get it? Did you jump over a fence? Did you pop into a Denny's restaurant or something? Did someone bring it to you? Well, thanks for listening to this little tip and indulged with the maple syrup story. I hope it helped you and maybe distracted you while you were running. Please leave a comment or let me know if you have a question. And also, please donate to my charity for medical research at unstoppablestoriesthatmove.com. Together, we can all save lives. It's becoming a lot more urgent. The NIH budgets are being slashed, and we have to do something about it. So instead of complaining, I'm raising money. And I hope you'll join me too. Please donate. I'm Sally Hed Dahlquist, host of the podcast Unstoppable Stories That Move. Keep moving forward.